So Digsite was leaked. Leaked on Christmas night on 4chan. 80 gigabytes of leaked Halo 1, 2, 3, 4 Wars, early builds and informations. Mostly Halo 1 and 2, that is, with some Halo 3 stuff. There was a Guardian Forest work in progress, internal design documents, the Halo Wars cinematic models, a lot of the stuff that has been teased by Digsite. I can't show any of this, by the way, so sorry if the video's just gameplay. I don't want to get into legal trouble here. During the same day of the leak, a lot of the Digsite members also left the team. So why did this happen? Well, going into the leaked files, which we have a readme on the Twitter, we can find a parody of the Deus Ex 1 intro, and using this we can kind of get a basic idea of why the leak happened. Your appointment to the Google Drive should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with Phil Spencer. I take it he was hoarding. Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the Prometheus, he was so willing it was almost pathetic. These builds, the leaks are intensifying to the point that where we might not be able to contain it. Why contain it? Let the files spill over to the rebalances and the uncuts. No! Let the betas pile up in the cord. Oh no! No, the shardy lingo. In the end, they'll beg us to gatekeep them. I hope you're not underestimate those on the build beggars. The others may not accept the tag releases as you think. Farnication indicates they're also behind the problems at Halo Studios. A bunch of pretentious old men playing at running the betas, but the builds left them behind long ago. We are the future. We have other problems. TOTS? Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike of the 1749 build. I have someone in their place, though I'm not concerned about Maze Man 99. He's relocated to the Reclaimers. Our dig slop compensation is how far advanced of theirs, as it is our short-term fun, and their long-term consequences have allowed us to make progress in the short term. Fun they refuse to consider. The Guardian Forest project? Among other things. But I have to admit, I have been somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary team. The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. My people will continue to report on his progress. If necessary, the primary will be strung along. We've had so much to endure, you and I, but soon there will be order again, a new age. Borman spoke of the mythical betas on the site. Soon the beta will be a reality and will be crowned by its kings, or better yet, than kings, hoarders. You know, the fact that they're using the shardy lingo. That's so funny. This is so funny. This parody gives hints to the conditions of what happened, but you know, it's kind of vague and kind of like a joke. Some people won't understand it or get it. But thankfully, we do have official tweets and messages to work from to understand what happened. And you know, I'm not going to take these out of context, unlike some other people, because they're taking it out of context to push a narrative, and I'll show that later. But General 101, one of the Digsite members, talks about, you know, what happened. It's more complicated than that, but it's obviously just the fact that it was unpaid work was not what caused the team to disband. See what the Forgers are talking about. I was asking what the Forgers were talking about because, you know, at first I was angry about them not being paid, but he clarifies here that was not the main reason. Watch the video from Mint. He goes over it if I recall correctly. They weren't getting good credit, and map ownership / patching was weird. Which is to be expected because 343 doesn't fucking give a shit about what their fans do. They just see them as tools. There is a world where Digsite team would have continued, though the efforts would have winded down, even if it remained unpaid. But during the last few months, things changed that made that unreasonable. Being unpaid was part of it. but it was the main thing. It wasn't. I think he meant to say it wasn't the main thing. It is what it is. Shame. The community is on their own. It's simple. You'll figure it out. Honestly, I just wanted part-time better than McDonald's pay. I'll now go over Dogbrain Luda's summary of the Digsite leaks as well. Well, all of the Halo Digsite stuff leaked. I nor any of the recent Digsite departures did this. Personally, don't care if modders use anything here how they see fit. Microsoft might not agree. Some is old work in progress. The Halo 2 E3 work is at least 6 months old, so check the official releases first. There is a manifesto that went with it as well that is a parody of the Deus Ex 1 intro. For reference, by the way, myself and the recent departures actually didn't have access to any of the files like the debug DLs. Well, this happened, but Merry Christmas, fellas. Well, I don't mind my own unfinished work going out. These kind of leaks are common enough in a world of pre-release and modding where my stance is it is what it is. Hopefully other modders can do some cool things with what's here. Guardian Forest files are out. Go nuts. Should clarify, the did this is a didn't do the late leak. We don't know who uploaded it. Sorry, I've been up for like 20 hours, Slimao. Got home from the movies and saw the leak and have been up since answering questions. Someone out here really leaking cut content that's actively being worked on for release to the public. A lot of the group left. Things might have not gotten much further work, to be honest. Either way, it's all out now. The too long didn't read is two things. Disagreements with Microsoft, and in general, half of us can not afford to continue work on this without it being an employment thing. Halo CE is something I can easily work on in my mod in my free time, but doing something like restoring a Halo free level would be like a full-time job. Basically, half of us would need to have a financial incentive to commit to something like that. No modder drama or anything crazy like that, just a mixture of some of us don't have the time to keep up on this as an unpaid venture, and disagreements with how Microsoft views the community. It's part of the reason why I have mixed to positive feelings of the leak. Well, I hope nobody I know gets screwed for this. In reality, this is probably the one way a good chunk of the Halo Free Plus content could get out. I hope the community can make good use of it at least. I'd say much of this screenshot is being exaggerated by others right now. Upfront, Digsite was and still is a volunteer group. Quality control was our own bar. Personally, only Halo 2 at E3 hit my bar and for what I wish to release. The issue of finances comes down more to the further volunteer work on more of the labor-intensive games. The various members have different takes on the matter, so I'd rather not talk on their behalf. We also have lives outside of Halo, and again, it's hard to justify doing 20 to 40 hour unpaid week of work to get something out on time. Even if a deadline wasn't super forced, imagine if Halo 2 E3 missed out on the Halo 2 20th anniversary, for example. To ship you all Halo 2 E3 and Alpha Moon, I and a few others effectively crunched Digsite as a near full-time job for 2+ months, in lieu of studies or finding other work post a second layoff. I made the call to delay Alpha Moon for 2 weeks so that we could ensure a quality standard adjunct to what we have done for 3+ years to bring E3 to the front. While we accepted these would be volunteer positions, our hard work continued not only without pay, but with basically no studio support or resources beyond our own backs. I and the rest of the team responsible for Crash Site, E3, Alpha Moon, and most of the Halo 1 to 2 content quit because it was made clear to us that E3 was more successful than Microsoft expected, and they want us to deliver another release on that level still with no pay and no resources at all. The time and my own resources invested in all of this took a significant toll on my current health and living situation, and I decided I just cannot do this any further when it's already bled us to do this much, and our ethic and results are still not enough for studio support. I do not believe the studio behind Halo will actually ever engage or support the legacy or community interests of Halo with any sincerity or authenticity, partially also why we quit. End of an era. Merry Christmas. Once again, we aren't the leakers. I'm off again, but wanted to say part of what actually happened without voiding confidentially. Again, none of us that quit were responsible for the leaks. It's beyond us. Once again, see you all next year on our next chapter. Came back online to say I leave town for a couple of weeks to take offline time because no money and massive burnout, and suddenly the entirety of Digsite agent files have all been leaked. None of us that walked are responsible, but wow. It seems to be a leak before our crunch at HCS. I partially walked because half of us on the team couldn't afford rent or food staying on. I wasn't going to say anything regarding what happened with Digsite. Just dip out and do my own thing, honestly, but I figured with other people sharing fun facts, stories, and other stuff, I'd offer a little bit of closure on my end as well as what's next. First, to get the most obvious statement out of the way, I didn't do the leak. Despite my departure, it contains files even I didn't know existed, meaning it was above a lot of us. Like everyone else on the team, I was bound to an NDA, and I had every intention of respecting that. Secondly, which is probably the bigger elephant in the room, is why I left. I had two reasons, one personal and one, I guess, moral. I could not justify what was being expected of me without it being a full-time job. There was no world I could maintain the quality bar for Halo Free Plus well. As for the other reason, it was because I fundamentally do not agree with how Halo Studios views the community or how they manage it. I cannot elaborate much further, but the expectations of Halo Studios for Digsite, plus how they viewed our work after shipping Halo 2 E3 was a combo of me taking my leave. As a result as well, I've decided my time with MCC is done, so now what? For Halo, the only thing I'll be doing is occasional updates to CE Plus on Xbox, as now the MCC release is no longer supported. I still enjoy CE Plus, and I'll continue supporting it as long as I can. Besides that, I'm still in early development for my own personal projects, including Hummingbird, which I've personally shared before. I'll be sharing some small stuff soon, but for anything larger, I'm just not ready to reveal anything yet. I'm also helping on Neo's Xenotom. I'll also be a little more active on this account again, sharing more of my other hobbies again and some other stuff. I understand some people only really stuck around for Digsite, so if you're not interested in what's next, no hard feelings. If you want to stick around, thank you. Also, it's my birthday in 2 days. Happy birthday to me, I guess. After these were released, a lot of people were angry that Digsite wasn't getting paid, and rightfully so. These people could barely afford to live, and they were expected to do full-time work on Halo free level of quality for Guardian Force, which is a hard quality bar to reach. But there was also free Twitter defense force that was taking everything out of context to make the Digsite team members look bad. They would take out of context tweets from Neo and others and try to use that to paint them as greedy, and that they knew that they were in a volunteer project and they should have known better. That they should have known better not to ask for pay because they were all volunteers and they made it look like they were slaves. And it's like, that's not the impression they were giving. Did you read their full post, or did you just want to take them out of context because you were mad this whole situation looks bad for your beloved number company? In fact, this whole situation confirms everything we've been saying about Free for the past decades to be true. Microsoft is Halo Studios / Free. They're the same thing. Free is not some small indie team. Hope this helps some of the discourse I've seen. Not even meaning this in some sort of crazy way, but just know all three are essentially the same. The small addition is that if you see Microsoft being brought up, just assume that means Halo Studios / Free Industries. None of the community is realistically dealing with Xbox publishing, for example. Of course, after these tweets were made, the usual suspects of the Free shill force come out in full force. Spoken like someone who's never truly had a job. And post the reply down there. So you hold Halo Studios responsible as well? Can you stop with this Halo Studios Microsoft nonsense? Do you seriously think Halo Studios leadership has some shadow boogeyman figure in the ear of telling them what to do? You guys are still talking about this shit when those guys chose to volunteer for this. There was never any employment for this week. Microsoft never hired you for shit. If you want to get paid, do a GoFundMe and y'all can pay them. What the fuck are you talking about? And as you can see, they clearly are taking the situation out of context. They're trying to paint it as, oh, Digsite's greedy. They just wanted money from the poor big corporation of Microsoft. And the reason they defend Free for Free so hard is not even because they like Free for Free's games. It's not because they enjoy the stuff they put out. They know it's fucking shit. That's why they have to fucking say the older games are trash in order to defend it. That's why they hate the older games so much, because they know that they're an example of how good Halo used to be. And it makes the shit Free for Free puts out look like trash. The real reason they defend all of this shit is for ideological reasons. And that's why they will bend over backwards to defend a corporation that goes against all of their own principles, but just because of ideological agreement, they think, oh, we gotta defend them, we gotta own the chuds. And it's pathetic that even in a clear-cut situation, saying the truths and facts, these people will always look for reasons to deny reality. And it's on Twitter and Reddit of Halo, this is a problem, where we have these types of people. And, they really got bad during the Infinite days, but they've kind of been winding down. Like, ever since the See Free Saber 2 video came out and pretty much disproved all of their narratives, it's been downhill for them ever since. But it's disgusting how these people poison Halo discourse all the time. And this is why I don't use Halo Twitter, because most of the real Halo people are on other websites, They aren't on this site, But it's just like, a lot of these people aren't Halo fans. They really aren't. And they defend... It's just like, they have this hard-ass mentality, and they try to be all rude, and then they act like you can't treat them the same way. And it pisses me off, because we have tweets of these people literally saying that they can't afford food, they can't afford anything, but they're the ones in the wrong because, oh, they were volunteers. No, they deserve fucking pay. They deserve a good wage, because they're the only people who are making good Halo stuff. Another point I've seen from Hardy LaBelle, controversial opinion, if you have the dev skills to be restoring old Halo content, you should be working on your own rightful game. Stop doing free work to enhance an IP that you cannot benefit from. And John Dogbraid Ludas chimes in and says, early on, but the people who left are practically moving on to do just that, or nothing related to games entirely. Badgetomic Blast, sorry, I'm not good with fucking names. Badgetomic Blast, Hummingbird, Neo Etika, and Neo Etika _glow, and Xenotom. One of the other former members doesn't use socials but is working on a Zoo Tycoon game. And Killzone says precisely what we're leaving Digsite to do, working on level design and art for Hummingbird with Badgetomic Blast. And I think, you can't really blame these guys. They're given an opportunity to make Halo great again. And, of course they want to, work on it. Halo is their passion. And maybe they have the mindset that maybe if we do this enough, we might get a job. And we might be able to do this for a living. So I can't really blame them for this, When you're given the chance to actually make this franchise that has been so incompetently handled work, you'd probably take it in a heartbeat if you have the skill set to do that. One final thing as I'd like to move on and also not have my words twisted so much is that, yes, it was volunteer. I didn't mention it because I didn't mention being unpaid in my tweet either. Me saying Halo Free onwards is a full-time commitment, and it's just a matter of fact for quality. And most people won't understand this because they try to gaslight that Halo Free is shit. When it's not. It's very good in quality. Would I have liked the job or compensation? Yeah. That's why I had my Ko-Fi up. But unfortunately, that never got much support outside of Halo 2 E3. But I came into this knowing that I may have gotten nothing out of it. That's fine. My disagreement is on a studio and community level. The community issues, to me, are the things that are antithetical to why I make things. They are also something that affect everyone, not just Digsite. You don't have to look far for that. If it was all money, I wouldn't have been wanting to stick around initially. That's all. I know it's inevitable to a degree, but I'm seeing lots of activity without context. Please do read all of what happened for the full story, as opposed to one-off tweet screenshots. Thank you. I posted my part to explain why some of us left, and that we didn't leak the material. So that's all that happened with Digsite. You know, it's a sad situation. And I know some people are sad right now, and they're saying that Microsoft is not going to want to do mods again, and that, oh, this breaks trust and they burnt a bridge. But it's like, but Microsoft only has themselves to blame for this. They killed their second golden goose. They didn't learn a thing from Bungie. Everything they've done to Halo is stuff they've wanted to do to Halo since the Bungie days. Halo is always going to fail under Microsoft. Just look at the way they've incompetently handled everything, and in fact, I think this whole thing was by design. They knew Digsite members could barely afford to live. They wanted them to fail. They want MCC to die out. They want their legacy in classic Halo to die out forever. They want people to forget their history. Because the history's bad, and all that matters is the slop we put out today. It makes a lot of sense that they were surprised that Halo 2 E3 did as well as it did. Because they don't fucking care about their legacy, they don't care about their history, they didn't earn any of this. They were handed this on a golden platter and they threw it out of their hand and said it was all wrong. And they tried to rebuild it in their image for the past 12 years and have failed constantly. Because they want to get rid of the old Halo fanbase and replace them with the same audience that buys up every COD slop every year. The only reason they ever revived MCC was to drive up hype for Halo Infinite. They probably had Digsite because they wanted free fucking updates to the game that they didn't have to put any fucking work into. And they also wanted to monetize MCC. That's another reason they revived it. The Spartan's point system from the get-go was designed to be monetized. It just feels like Microsoft wanted this to die. They gave the Digsite team unrealistic expectations to make a Halo free quality level because they wanted them all to quit. They wanted this project to die. Because then they wouldn't have to worry about mods outdoing the slop they put out. Digsite outdid whatever fucking winter update Halo Infinite had. The shop update. That's for sure. This is why we still don't have modded custom games browser support. Why we still don't have console mods or mods on Xbox. It's because Microsoft wants MCC to die and fail. They want it to be forgotten so they can replace it with whatever reboot slop they put out that'll be cheered on by people just because it looks pretty. When it's just shit and soulless. This is the same reason why Halo tubers are refusing to cover mods this year, because they probably have orders from Free4Free to just ignore them. You know? Because they'll cover whatever shop update comes out, but if someone, you know, recreates the red versus blue text fight, you'll barely get any videos on it. They do everything in their power to avoid the modding community because they know the modding community will outdo them. They're angry and jealous that Bungie in the modding community has outdone anything they have done in the last 12 years. They're jealous of that, and they want to shut it all down. That's all this is. And honestly, whoever leaked it, we don't really know. The leaks suggest it was from 6 months ago, and funnily enough, 6 months ago, Russian hackers hacked Microsoft and did a data breach. Though, one could make the argument that the timing of it being uploaded now and the personal manifesto would also put some blame to Digsite. But it is kind of suspicious that all of this dates back 6 months ago, and that's when a data breach happened. I was going to go on a longer rant about this, and I have a whole script typed out for it, but I kind of want to save it for another video. I wanted this video to be more informative. I'm going to upload another video soon that goes into my thoughts, my personal thoughts on this. If you really care, you know, you can watch that. But my whole takeaway from this is Microsoft killed their golden goose again. And it reminds me a lot of what happened to the Sonic Mania dev team and how Sega screwed them over, barely even gave them pay for what they did while they took all the money and recognition. But despite everything, and despite us being on our own now, it's not over. And I know people might be confused by that. Because I know most people have moved on from Halo at this point, and I don't blame them. But I've stuck around. Because there is one last hope for us. Even with Digsite gone and it being all but clear the official Halo products won't ever be good, we still have the community. We still have mods that we can play, we still have Halo Online, and we could even be playing that if we wanted custom games mod support. We don't need Microsoft, we don't need Free for Free, or Halo Studios. Let's be honest, it's still free for free. The Carnivores community, for example, gets treated the same way as we do, and the mods run that community now to the point where some of the mods are actually considered canon to the original games. That's the direction Halo fans should be going into. Halo 2 E3 was a success for Halo, and that shows there are still people who want the old style of Halo. That this isn't just some outdated thing that needs to be forgotten. That people still love this. If you still love Halo, mods and fan projects are Halo's future now. That's where you will get the good stuff, and I promise I'm going to keep working on my projects because there are people who tell me the stuff I do is the most fun they've had with Halo in years. I get that all the time, and it means the world to me. I know my stuff isn't on Bungie's quality, and I don't know if I could ever reach that, but I can at least be happy that there are people who are able to enjoy Halo because of the stuff I do and the stuff other modders do. My final point is that we don't gotta care about Free for Free or Microsoft anymore. I don't, and I've been pretty happy for the last year because of that. If you really love Halo, and you just wish you could enjoy it, give the mods a try. Don't care about the official news coming out. Not that there's much anyways. Anyways, I apologize for the rant of this video here. I know it's all the same shit I say on Discord all the time, and I know most of us already know this, but it's been building inside of me for the years now, and the whole situation was a final straw. But I hope you guys can at least take my final takeaway from all this and maybe find a new way to enjoy Halo, despite the Digsites being gone. Because if the Carnivores community can build their own thing just with mods, we could do the same thing. We don't gotta care about official products. We don't gotta be bound to them. We can give attention to the people who actually care about Halo and want to see it thrive and succeed. Fans are the future of Halo, not Microsoft. I want to say thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned about what happened with the whole situation with Digsite. I hate the word situation because, the Digsite situation is insane is what some people would title it as. But, I don't do that bullshit YouTube drama stuff. But yeah, I wish the Digsite team good luck in their future endeavors, and I hope they do well with their original projects, because they've shown they have what it takes to make good stuff. Anyways, I'll still be here. I'll try to make what I can based off the leaks we got, and it's pretty interesting stuff. Some of the Digsite members did wish that the community would build off this, and, there's a lot of stuff we learned. Let's just say dinosaurs in Halo was planned from the start. So, I'll give a hint to that, right? I'll just say that. But, it was very nice to know. It was very nice to know that information. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day.